also helped the colonizers capture their people and harm black people.
Hey, look,
Because
I'm not refusing that. I never said I didn't. I
Valdez,
never said
that's
I
a
didn't.
harmful question to
No,
ask
the
me.
I
answer
take
to
I
that,
take both of my
Valdez,
sides. I take
I can
Spanish
let
and
you
indigenous.
You
speak.
asked the
let me
question, let
say
me
something,
finish.
Valdez.
If you actually
Valdez.
know history,
That was
then
kind of
you
a
know.
passive
Hold
aggressive
on. If
question.
you
You see what
actually
I'm
know
saying? They
history,
get upset. They get upset when you tell the
Don't
I'm
do
truth.
not
that.
Wait,
getting
hold
They
on,
upset.
get
No,
hold
upset
on,
when you tell the truth.
You're wrong,
nobody's
Valdez.
upset.
hold
Like,
on,
you're
It's
asking
everyone.
the
Give me
harmful.
wrong.
one second.
That's
Let
not.
me.
Valdez, to be honest here, the way you delivered that question could offend some people, and I don't know if you. I know why you asked that question. It's a good question,
I
but I
agree.
would say for one, you generalized all black people. That was the first mistake that you did because not every black person believes that. I don't think you meant harm, but the way you delivered it was like,
Hold on, I want to address something too.
Respond
Hold
though?
on,
Can I respond?
wait. In two, she wasn't upset. I want to be clear on that. She was not upset. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Like, I just want to apologize.
Thank
Um,
you. The furthest thing from upset, because that was just a weird question, and I just wanted to show you how weird the question was. But to answer your question, I would love for people to stop trying to make it seem like all black people in Africa are the same. Just like indigenous people got different tribes and different people across the board, that's how it is in Africa. Y'all need to stop trying to make it seem like me and my apartment complex, me and my neighborhood, everybody in my neighborhood sold everybody in my neighborhood. What are we talking about here? And when we get into slavery in Africa, servitude in Africa, it wasn't the same as the colonizers. So we need to stop playing that game. And it wasn't just random people walking around getting captured and enslaved. And if y'all look at the history, it actually talks to people from the land, people, and listen to their oral stories and things like that. A lot of these people didn't know what happened once you went on the other side of that wall. So y'all really need to stop playing with my ancestors like that, because it's real weird that y'all all have this idea that, oh, black people sold other black people and they won't acknowledge that your people sold you. No, my people did not sell me. A tribe 500 miles away, 1,000 miles away is not my people. Y'all
you're
need to stop saying
correct.
that just because y'all see
You're just
Hey,
spitting lies.
Valdez.
You're spitting
no,
lies,
y'all have
and
this
it's a
ideology.
straight lie.
Y'all
It's
see
straight
black.
lies.
No,
Hey,
it's not
Valdez.
straight.
Kick back,
Whoa.
Valdez.
You're not
Hey,
gonna
Valdez.
tell me
Hey,
about
can I
my
say
history.
something?
Y'all have
No,
this
Justice, I want to say
let
something.
me. I want to
I
address
want to
y'all
this
say
have
really
let me
something
quick.
really
finish.
quick.
yeah,
Just really quick, Valdez. I don't know, homie. I'm just gonna say to you like this. That was a really passive aggressive question, and I'm saying to you, I'm saying this to you as a sister. Like,
No, todo
I didn't
está
think
bien.
that was appropriate. Like to ask that. We're in a live talking about this topic, and to ask them like as though they're the representatives of all. I would be offended if someone asked me that about people in Mexico and the Spaniards. Like I would be kind of offended too if someone came at
Well,
me
yeah,
This
like
don't
I,
make
that.
I
sense
saw I
to
saw
me
you got I
though.
saw you got offended when I said that Mexicans are really half indigenous and half Spaniard,
If
which
I
Because
we
can
you're
are,
finish
saying
which we
responding,
are, by the
not
way.
all of us are half. That's why.
Well,
Some of us.
I did my DNA. I'm 51%
Okay, that's
indigenous,
you.
and the
But you have
the
a
other is
habit,
Spanish.
Valdez. You have a habit of speaking for yourself and then saying it as though that's
Okay,
what it goes for
I'll take that.
everybody.
I'll take
And
that. I'll
just
take
as
that.
and I already addressed that with you in the beginning of this conversation when I said to you when you said, "Well, all my people don't have it hard." Well, that's you. That's you. You're one person. God bless. You're the exception. You're not the rule, homie. So, like, for you to keep saying these blanket statements based on your one experience, that just makes you look like an ass. You know what I mean? Like that question was like not necessary in this space. I'm just saying. Like, there's no hostile
Just,
environment. There's no
look, I thought we
hostile
were having a
environment here.
conversation. I
I've
didn't
been
We're
mean to
having
able
a
offend
to
anybody.
say,
conversation.
but I've been able to say with my sisters in
Chicana.
here everything that I've wanted to say, and they have responded to me beautifully. Keep that dynamic going is all I'm saying.
Chicana, I didn't mean to offend anybody. I promise. It's
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
question. I'm asking questions that I always think about. You know what I
Yeah,
okay,
so
mean?
let
here,
me finish really quick
okay,
because
you
you
have
didn't
to.
mean to offend somebody. That's why when I responded, you tried to say, "Oh, now you're getting mad," as if it was
No,
funny.
yeah,
Now
you're
let me
right.
finish because that whole ideal, because your neighboring tribe told you I know Zena, whatever your name is, you could wait because you're trying to tell me I'm lying about my history when I've never commented on your history and your people and your tribes. Just because your neighboring tribe was a sellout or sold you out, that's not your people. Y'all need to get that out y'all head. That is so
See
weird.
what
Africa is a
happens? That's
very
what
big
happens. Now,
continent.
now I gotta
Very big
defend that.
continent.
See how
Very
you,
All right,
different.
you just put
I got something
now
to say real
look
quick.
now she said something offensive and now look at how the whole vibe has changed. Now I feel like I gotta defend that and that's like not necessary. None of that's
All right,
necessary.
well, I got something to say real
Hold
quick.
on, when I say
Um,
tribes again, and again, I was referring to Africa because again, y'all think all black people are the same when a lot of these people came from different tribes. So again, just because your neighboring tribe sold you out, and it's no different from the indigenous people because all communities had sellouts, all communities had little tap dancing Caucasian people who
That's
got
true.
whipped up by the colonizers.
That's
Just
true.
that, like, y'all, we need to stop that narrative. It's
No,
just
I totally
weird.
agree. I totally agree
But
with
go
what you're
ahead,
saying.
T.
But at the end
Valdez,
of the
can I
day,
say
you got to
something?
all right,
remember.
let me
Hold on,
go
hold
real
on. Let me
quick.
let me
Let me
just say
go real
this.
quick.
Let me just say this.
Valdez,
Slaves
and I'll be
came.
done.
Slaves were over in Africa when they were having their tribal wars. They
Speaking
were
about
taking
Africa,
prisoners of
brother.
war, and those
Look
prisoners
it.
of war were the ones that were
Nah, this
sold into
is
slavery. It's just facts.
yeah, it's facts, man. But look, you don't have the right to speak about someone else's
That's not
culture. If
facts.
you know
That's
about it and
not
you
facts.
studied it, then okay, cool. But you don't go off and just start talking because that's why we get offended when African Americans or
Yeah,
whites when they
tell us
start
to
telling
take
us
a
how
backseat
we
or
should
yeah.
know our race. Like you don't if you know that's cool, brother. But you don't go off, especially when you're with a panel of our black
Well,
brothers
I
and
mean, look,
sisters,
look,
and then
look.
start
I'm
just
straight.
You
start
give
I'm
the
saying
straight.
shit like
I'm,
that,
respect
I'm
you
brother.
straight.
Come
I'm
want.
on,
straight.
man.
All I'm gonna say is this, man. I'm straight Latino, but I grew up in a black
Yeah, there
family.
you
My
go.
That's the
stepdad's my
problem.
See, that's the
That's
stepdad's
the
black,
problem. You're
problem.
so
You
still
have
I
to,
do
you
Latino.
get
know.
I do
You're
get
still
involved in all
Latino.
these. Of course, but I
That's the
still want to
problem.
know
You think
about the
your
history of the black
proximity to
people.
Your
black
I just
proximity does
let
not
me tell my
matter.
black brothers and
right.
sisters, man, that there is um erasure going on with our people still, and they tend to call themselves Latino or Hispanic because they still want to claim the European
The
side,
right. They're not
the G-siders
decolonized. They're not
that
decolonized.
oppressing us. So on behalf
That
of
is so funny.
my
He said his
people,
stepdad is black. That don't give you no proximity to
yeah,
blackness.
like I
That
apologize
don't
for
that
his
don't
for
give you no
his
proximity to
conduct and his
blackness.
No, you
words.
ain't got no, brother. Don't
No,
apologize
I
to me because
do.
I stand
I
by
do,
what I
brother.
said.
I
We
do.
I
do
stand by what I
though,
Because
but
said.
we
Justice has
do
something very
though.
good going on right here,
Yeah,
and you're
we did.
trying
We
to
had
like
something
throw
really good.
a brick you're trying to throw a brick in the water or something, dog. Like, come on, man.
It was
Come on,
just a
brother.
question, man. I didn't know it was gonna
No,
raise
it
so
was
many
not. No, it was
It's
Well,
not.
not
but
just
also
a
No, it was
question,
not.
man.
I
No, it
keep
was
noticing
It
not.
has a lot of weight
No, it
to
was
it.
passive
It
not.
holds a
comments
lot of
coming
weight
from
to that
Valdez.
question.
We
It
wasn't
was
even
a
on the
question with
topic.
Melissa. Go ahead.
And
So, Valdez,
all
I
right,
think you just need to be a little more cognizant on how you phrase your questions
And you know
because
what? You're probably right. You're probably
how
right.
it
You're probably
comes
right.
out is a
I'm
little
not gonna
scant.
excuse
I'll
him.
agree
I'm
with that. I'll
no,
agree with that.
no.
You don't have to.
I'm
Can
not
I,
giving an excuse.
can I
I'm
say
just making a
something?
statement.
Not even about
no,
how
let
Also,
you
me
feel
I
go.
at
think we
this
He
need
point.
said a
He
lot.
to
literally said he's
acknowledge
standing on
that
what
we
he
have
said.
individuals that may be of Latino descent, and because they claim both sides, it's not a necessary avenue that they're not decolonized. And I'm not saying this is the instance here. The idea that someone can be two things or more things simultaneously doesn't change the fact that sides doesn't have to be picked. It has to be a straight walk. It's recognizing straight facts, straight truth, and being non-biased toward the events that
But big
has
brother,
taken place.
Well,
big brother,
I
we
want
have
to
done this
respond to
before.
that
We have done
engineer
this in the
because
past where you're asking us to walk side and side and understand, and it never works out. So I
yeah,
just feel that it's time to confront that whole thing and put it in its place and let people know that there is a way of thinking. And so if he is decolonized, I mean, it really doesn't even give him more. It gives him less of an excuse.
I didn't say
and if
him.
you
I
notice,
said
wait, I
in
want to
general
say
people.
something to engineer
Okay,
He
before. I
changed
just
his.
want to make this very clear. On our panel, we always say, and I always say, if you're French, if you're Spanish, if your grandma was Spanish, hey, then by all means, you're Hispanic, you're Latino, and I respect that. My step grandpa, who I love with all my heart, his parents were from Barcelona. And I have no qualms with you calling yourself Latino if you are and Hispanic if you are. I have no qualms with that. But you know, and I know very well that there's a whole movement of Mexicans that are not Latino or Hispanic that romanticize the colonizers and do harm in creating an erasure of our true history of what happened to us. So if they're going around saying, "Oh yes, the conquistadors came and they got on one knee and they got the village girl," and no, that's not how it went down. So those are the ones that Chicano and I are against, because you're not going to romanticize the colonizers that came and G-sided our people and caused great atrocities and then romanticize it and change history for my kids and my grandkids. Call it what it is. I'm not going to be against Hispanics and Latinos if you're rightfully that. You're my brother, my sister, my relative. But don't sit here and be a colonizer, period, point blank. That's what I'm against. That's not okay.
Oh, I didn't even know. I didn't even realize we were in Showtime. Okay, yeah. Look, like I said, man, Chicano and Chicana, I love both of y'all, man. But at the end of the day, look, I recognize that us as Mexicans, that we are both indigenous and Spanish. And look, I'm very proud of both sides of of who I am. I'm proud to be indigenous, and I'm proud to be Spanish. And the conquistadors, hey, look, they dominated a lot of this land we live on. Just being real.
About them people who be using Hispanic, Latino, and all these different names, indigenous, to fly under the radar. And when y'all look at their lineage, they come from a lineage of colonization, which explains why they're the colonizers. They are the people who went and colonized, and that's the sad part about it. And they put on this persona and then they get to speaking for these communities, causing harm to these communities. Y'all, and I say this to black people, I say this to all communities, y'all better start checking people's genealogy and ancestry, because they be sitting over here acting like they not the colonizers who came over here and colonized these people. Like, y'all didn't just disappear. The Spaniards didn't just go away. They literally put on the persona as the people of that land, and then y'all be trying to speak for the people of that land causing harm, which is why we be having these little intercommunal beefs half the time, because it be people who speak and don't need to speak. I'm gonna land my plane there.
Yeah, what she said was 100% correct, because I think that the colonizers not only are white, I think they're Latino, I think they're African American, and I know they are, and so yeah, I think the colonizers, it's a mind frame, it's an ideology, not to take away from white supremacy, because they are the majority and the ones in the most of the power, that hold most of the power, but again, this conversation was, I think, if I correct me if I'm wrong, but was about black and brown unity, and I don't want to go into a Latino kind of conversation, because then it takes away from what I think justice is trying to accomplish here, and yeah, just we have to learn to fight the white people. But thank you.
So again, I want to make something very clear and have a distinction between the two. I agree with what you said 100%, Shikana, is a distinction that has to be made amongst the people in general. If you stand for righteousness, it's what it is. If you have a mindset of a colonizer, that's what you are. And I agree with Ellie. If that's where you want to be, you really have no place amongst the people, because it's the same rhetoric, divide and conquer. It is time for people of all walks of life to actually come together, to be honest with you, and stomp out bigotry everywhere it may rear its head. Those are the facts. People are going to be people. Your heritage and who you are is who you are, but you don't have to be an evil individual.
Y'all can just get me.
I will take your time a little bit. I had someone after Voltage So I believe someone did switch someone out new. I had someone new up here that I did have up just for future references. If I have mods here, if someone has been up here for like a short time, I don't switch them. If they have been up here for a long time, you can switch them. Let me get your age. Voltage. Oh, they left? Okay.
Hello?
Hello, can I get your age?
Yes, Key was up here, I think. Hello? Yes.
Hello, can I get your age?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh my gosh, my time is almost gone. Yeah, I was gonna say Black people see humanity in everybody else, but other people lack to see the humanity in us. What Valdez said was ignorant. Basically, he was using white supremacy talking points, was very ignorant of him. And I didn't like that. So yeah, you can skip me.
So that was fair, and again, I think it's also right to acknowledge if someone has offended you. I mean, this shouldn't be a problem. Say you apologize, because sometimes the angle may come out wrong, and that's not to give anybody an excuse, but at least acknowledge that, hey, I wasn't trying to offend you, but it came out that way for sure.
Like,
Well, if you're
I
speaking about
disagree.
me,
I would like to
I'll
respond. I would like
apologize.
to
I'll
respond to
apologize,
that.
but I'm
I
not
was
gonna
speaking in
say
general.
it's not the truth. You know, that's the one
You
thing I do
can't
is I bring the
say,
truth.
Hold on.
hold on, wait a minute. Voltage, I'm gonna go after Voltage. Go ahead, Voltage.
Okay. The crazy part is, I know for a fact you heard this from a white tea person. I know for a fact this is a white tea talking point. She just told you these are not our people. The people that sold us like 1,000 years ago. First of all, you got to remember that the colonizers were actually taking Africans, and also they didn't know that they were going through chattel slavery. The Africans. They did not know that the colonizers took them for chattel slavery. So I don't understand, why don't you do your research before you say anything on, and you know that people come on here, you know people view this, you know millions of people come on here and look and hear what you're saying, and they'll take that and run with that and then say that in the next slide. Why?
Yeah, misinformation is harmful.
Crazy, yes.
It contributes to erasure. It contributes to like unnecessary anger. Like misinformation is harmful. It really is.
Yes.
Voltage, were you done? Did you land?
Oh, yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so y'all, I'm really pissed because as he was talking to Elle, I clocked this. He was talking to Elle and she was speaking very passionate, and he said she was upset. And she always getting mad. And that's what ticks me off. But then when Indigenous started speaking, he was like, oh, okay. I understand it. And she was saying the same shit. She was saying the same stuff. So that's what ticks me off. You're not finna get up here and tell a black woman that she's upset when she's speaking passionately about something that she knows about. And for you to tokenize your stepfather, that is just downright nasty. You can't say, I can speak on it because my stepfather was... No.
He
Don't do
said,
that.
there you go with crying. He said,
Yeah,
oh,
there you
there
go
they
crying.
go. Oh, there they go. That's crazy.
That's what black supremacists do. They always talk about tokenizing. I wasn't tokenizing shit. I was telling
Black
the truth.
supremacy,
I was
excuse
telling the
me?
motherfucking truth.
Didn't I
If the
tell you he was saying white
truth hurt
supremacy
you,
ass shit?
then oh fucking well.
It's no truth, brother.
You're giving false information that you have nothing. Like what? Black supremacists? What are you talking? You know what? I'm done.
I'm gonna have a one-on-one talk with him. Valdez, I understand you may have had some experiences with what you consider black supremacy people, however you want to call it. But I want you to know on this live, you don't have to feel like that's who you're talking to. And I want you to understand we have to stop with the generalization. It sounds like you're hurt as well. And unfortunately, the Earth Fairy has a point. One person was you had two different types of women that were very passionate. And I feel like because you know Chicana, you are a bit more understanding, but with Elle, you kind of put her in the same category as black supremacist, and you're not even listening. You're too focused on wanting to show me photos. I'm not gonna lie, it makes me want to kick him off. Because now I feel like he's not listening to me. He just wants to make a point now. His mind's not here. You're not even listening to me. I am so tempted to kick him off. You know
Ma'am,
what?
I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you.
So what did I just say then?
I just wanted to show you. You said that there's a lot of things because because I knew Chicana and I knew Chicano, that there was a lot of things that was said that maybe I might not have gotten. But all I wanted to do was show you. Look, this is my 10-year-old son.
What else did I say?
Call it tokenizing if you want.
No,
my 10-year-old son's half
you're not
black.
listening to me. You're not Don't pay attention to the comments. You're not listening to me. You assume that Elle is a black supremacist. And I'm saying that, telling you, I know that's what you think. I mean, I she deserves an apology.
No, I never said that.
You don't have to say it. I can see it. You literally said, this is how they are, black supremacists, and you put Elle in that same category. You're putting your pain and your hurt from other lives on her. Are you not gonna apologize?
Apologize for what? I didn't say nothing wrong. All I said was that I didn't say nothing wrong.
Let me tell you something, Rav. It's the ideology that don't hold that people on in the individual that are African Americans or considered black are folks that are angry when they express their feelings.
I mean, colonization and assimilation
Indigenous
is
don't
trauma.
apologize. You're fine. Because I was talking to him specifically when he made that statement. I was talking to him. I was talking to him when that statement was
I made a
made.
statement. And that was it.
And that was disgusting.
You can't come on, like do better, dude. Like seriously, like these are good people. They're not bad people, and you're like, you're being foul. Like that's not cool. It's not cool at all. Yeah, but you know what you're doing. Come on, like we can all sit here and we can go back and forth, but dude, you're giving asshole. Just stop. Apologize to her.
All I was talking the truth.
No, but you was rude. Apologize to her. That's not cool. That's not okay. It's not okay.
He's too busy tokenizing the black people that he's around. I think he thinks
That's what I said.
You know what, Chicana?
that he has the right to speak the way he speaks.
No, do it for you. Like apologize. That's your character.
For you,
I don't speak for the indigenous community because I'm in proximity to indigenous people. That's weird. You think because you are in proximity to black people or you have a black son, you can make these weird statements or these delusional statements. I want y'all to know anti-black and anti-indigeneity runs heavy globally. Simple.
Right. And actually, when I called you out on it, you called me a black supremacist.
Black supremacists is what they do. Black supremacists always bring up tokenizing.
See?
What is a black supremacist? Can he tell me? What is that?
And you are tokenizing your stepdad.
It's somebody that thinks they're better than fucking every other race. You get them on there, you got pro-blackers here.
Can we have a moment
all fucking day.
This gets funnier every day. TikTok is funny, y'all.
It's the clown makeup that he got on right now.
A moment real quick. Yeah, please.
Look, at the end of the day, y'all are afraid to accept the fact that yes, I was raised by a black man. Yes, I got a half black son. Y'all call it tokenizing. It's called fucking the truth. It's called the truth.
By the way, guys,
y'all just don't want to hear it.
Can I ask a question?
Hold on, guys. At the top left, there's a poll. There's a top. My God. There's a poll at the top left corner. You guys can take it.
Ask Valdez a question. What does your black son or your black stepfather have to do with the conversation? Can you elaborate on that?
No, I
Oh
brought it up
no.
because
He said
y'all
that he
was
was
trying to
raised
act
by
like I
one, so we could
fucking
talk
totally,
about it.
I was totally not disenfranchised. What's the word I'm looking for? Like disassociated with the
Look,
black community.
Disingenuous?
I
I
want
was
to say
raised by
something
I was raised
to
by a black
I want to say
family.
something
I had a
really quick.
black
Hold
grandma,
on.
a black
Yeah,
man.
but you're
Shut the fuck
Latino,
up
like
and
you
let him
said.
motherfucking
Like you
talk.
said.
God damn. Y'all
Holy
Like you
talking
said,
That's
you're
what
filthy.
Latino.
tokenizing is,
Oh
though.
my
You're
god.
tokenizing.
Look it. You see
Like
how
what did I say earlier? Tokenizing. I was the first one to say
my wife
tokenizing.
Go ahead, Chicano.
spoke about what's going on in reality, and it was straight, respectful, and we got dialogue
Tokenizing
back.
is
The
not
way
a
you're
fucking
doing it,
thing. Y'all
you
just made that
is,
fucking word up.
is straight wrong. And
You
usually I
idiot. Look
stand
into
up
the English
for my
language.
people, man. But I can't stand up for you, dog. Like now, like every time you come
Hey,
around, you're
it's good, man.
problematic. You're
Hey,
causing
look,
some
I
kind of
didn't ask
harm,
you to, homie.
and we
I
always
didn't
have to
ask you
fix.
to.
It's
I
good to
didn't
be
ask you to.
uncomfortable,
All I'm
but
saying,
it's
look,
wrong to
you
be
okay? Well, let me ask you this
problematic.
question, man. Let me ask you this
Hey,
question,
stop
man.
talking over him. Let him. Hey, have a conversation. Like you
None of y'all.
looking at us
That's
like
because
weird.
none of y'all will let
Okay,
me
just
motherfucking
let him
talk.
talk to you. Okay, then look,
Not you
it's
using
you talk,
AVE.
he talks. You talk, he talks. Have like civil discord. Like communicate. What the fuck is like weird?
Trust and believe that his ignorant acts is not based on your community. Trust and believe that his ignorant acts is not based on your community.
I know it's not.
Trust that. Trust that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
agree.
That's my worst. That's my biggest worry
Just
is that by the actions of one person could ruin a whole lot of things. Like now we've been not wasting. We've been talking to try to address your issue when we have all kinds of other issues, man. You know, like we could have been talking about real shit instead. Now we're trying to fix you, and that's
There is no
straight
fixing
selfish,
him.
man.
Fix me.
That's
There is
What the
no
selfish.
fuck?
fixing him. There is no
Okay,
fixing him.
so
And first, pause.
is
I'm
this other
talking. A
dude?
black person is
No,
talking.
sir. They said
A black
him and
person
then
is
me.
talking.
They said him and then me.
Mm-mm.
So it's my turn now.
Tokenizing is a
It's
word.
my turn now.
Tokenizing is a
So
word.
in other words,
Tokenizing is a
what I'm
word.
gonna say?
Look it
No,
up.
sir. No, sir.
No,
They
absolutely.
said
It's
I
not
was
made up.
next.
It's not
They
made
said I
up.
was fucking next.
Look in the English
They
language.
said, yeah.
Look
Well,
in the
you call
book.
it whatever the
It's
fuck
a
you want.
word.
It's called
It's
facts
a
to me.
word.
It's called
No,
facts
it's
to
called
me.
BS.
Okay,
It's
well let me ask you a
BS.
question. So if
Misinformation.
is my black stepdad real? Is my half
He is
black
real.
son
He's a
real?
person.
Is
He's
my
a
fucking
person. There are
half black
people.
sister real? Of all
But
the
you're
people that
tokenizing.
is
Okay,
my
but
black
You're
grandma
tokenizing.
that I
wait.
grew up
Okay,
with
can
real?
I respond to that? Can
Can
I
you fucking
respond
Go
to that?
ahead.
no,
Can I
Chicana,
respond to that?
Let me finish. Oh,
Okay,
go
no.
ahead,
Let me
Chicana.
respond to what you just said. Let me respond to what you just said. Listen to what you're saying. When you're right, you're right. You don't need to pull in the fact that you have a black stepdad and a half black son. You don't need to use that if you're right. The fact that you're doing it to assist you in being right, that's what the problem is. And you're not getting that. You're not
Tokenizing.
understanding that you using that is you basically just defined what tokenism is by using that as some type of leverage to be right when you're not right. Like, honestly, like you got to really step back from this and look at it. Listen to what you're talking about. Listen to what you're saying. Everybody's not against you.
Justice.
I don't know.
I hate to do this, but I'll
I'm
talk
gonna
to
sit
you on
out of
my own,
this.
Valdez, and just
Am I ever
let
gonna
them go for now.
am I ever
Yeah,
gonna
no,
get a chance to
I'm gonna
talk?
ask. I'm gonna ask the host
Talking the whole
as a
time.
He's
guest
an a-hole.
to just
He's such an a-hole. He doesn't want
kick
to
you off
listen.
and then I'll address you on my own because we were doing good. We had some good dialogue going, and you came in and fucked it off, homie. So
Man, I said one
I'm
motherfucking
asking you
thing.
just to
I
get
said
rid
one
of you, and
motherfucking
I'll
thing and
talk to you
somebody got
later.
upset.
No,
I'll
you
talk to you later,
didn't.
brother. Because either way, you're still my brother, and I still have to attempt to help you. And if you don't think you need help, then it is what it is, brother.
That's
You're gonna get it
facts.
regardless,
That's facts.
you know. But you know,
Facts.
I don't think she has to do no asking everybody like por favor, just go, and then I'll talk to you later. And if you want,
Yeah, just drop
but
off on your
just allow
own.
this conversation to move forward now.
Anyway, back to what we were saying. Back to our regularly scheduled channel. Can everyone tap the screen, please, for my homegirl?
Thank you. And
Everybody
also
tap the
on
screen
top
for
of that,
her.
we had a new guest, or we have a new guest that we haven't even got to yet because of this whole situation. So Valdez, thank you so much for
Tap
being
the
here.
screen. Tap the screen for my sister, please.
Dog in the pit. Can I get your age?
Yes, I am pushing 50. How are you all today? I hope everybody is well. Ellie, I deeply apologize to you for you just going through that garbage. That was not acceptable. That whole scenario popped up, and it's a very recent conversation that I try to shut down every chance that I see it. It's very harmful, and it's based on, I don't even like using this word, this whole wobble movement or pretendian movement of people claiming they are not African and they are the actual indigenous people. And the reason why people are starting to put this supremacy behind the word black is based on the fact that these people are being both anti-black and anti-indigenous by doing this. But in no way, shape, or form do I find that acceptable. Black people cannot be supremacists. That is absolutely ridiculous. But unfortunately, that just happened. So, Chicano, please talk to this dude. This is wild.
I mean, again, I appreciate that you apologize for him too, man. Like, it was just, man, it gets me crazy. It gets me crazy because he doesn't want to understand, and it's just like now he has I wanted to protect him, like, hey, stop talking to him like that, but I can't because I have more connection with the black brothers and sisters right here that know what's going on and are able to keep a good conversation going, and we could get somewhere with it, and he was just he just didn't know how to deliver his words and deliver it and try to get somewhere with what he was saying. I hope I made sense.
I believe he said what he said, but I think he felt some kind of way when he got called on it, so he resorted to that. So I'm not going to excuse him. Yeah, I'm not going to excuse him for what he did.
You do not have to excuse anything that he said or did. I just apologize because he is one of my own, and he doesn't represent us. Like I said, when I think of Valdez, which when we're in the panel is the only time I think of him, but whenever he talks, I always think, okay, Valdez is the type of person that if he were to go through the process of decolonizing, which is not an easy process, it's very difficult, it's painful, it's everything against assimilation, and it's a process. It's a long, I'm still going through it, and if he were to go through it, I think he'd come out a much better person. I'm not so confused. Like you hear him, he says, I'm Hispanic and I'm Latino and I don't think Chicanos are oppressed, and then he says these things about the African American community. I just think that he has a lot going on inside and he needs to decolonize. I hope he hears what I'm saying. I know he respects Chicano and I. We don't always agree, but I think he does need to go through that process, and maybe we'll see a new and improved, better Valdez. And so I think we should stop talking about him now.
Phenotype has nothing to do with indigenous communities or African communities either. That's all supremacy from colonization to divide people. We were all very aware that there are people from dark hue to light hue in every community. That's a very recent construct. So for people to continuously use phenotype, they're very uneducated.
About racists hijacking the civil rights movement. He got cut off by a young lady that was extremely aggressive. I'm not allowed to call her aggressive, even though she was being aggressive, and wasn't allowed to finish or land his plane. He kept getting talked over. You can play back the whole live and watch it yourself. Every time he would try to explain where he was coming from, he kept getting chopped down. Everyone heard it, and it kept happening to him. Finally, he lost his cool, and he felt like he had to stand his ground. He wasn't against anybody. The only people we're against is white supremacy, Zionists, and wobbles. Let me set the record fucking straight. That's who we're against. That's who we fight against. Justice is our friend, our dear friend. We have plenty of African American friends, plenty of Asian friends. We fight for Congo, for stand in solidarity with Hawaii. So this whole like it's like a witch hunt. Everyone's sitting there talking about Chicano as though he's some horrible person and taking everything out of context because all he was trying to do was talk and kept getting talked over and talked over and talked over and then told that he's spewing misinformation. I can tell you the sources that I've seen coming from black colleges that also agree that the civil rights movement was hijacked by white supremacy and the Chicano movement got pushed out. That's not putting a finger towards anyone. It's not misrepresenting black history. It's simply saying that's our history. We got pushed out. So we have to negate the fact. Wait, let me finish. Why do I keep getting, man, it's crazy.
No, go ahead, Indigenous. Go ahead, Indigenous. Go ahead. I'm going after you.
If he would have been able to land his plane, he wasn't calling out anybody other than racist white supremacists. That's who are the ones that hijacked the civil rights movement. He wasn't going against anyone else, and no one would let him finish. Everyone kept talking over him, telling him that he was someone even called him racist. Who in here that knows Chicano could even use that word against him? When he's literally 10 toes down, fights for everybody. He donated $2,000 in paintings to Gaza. He does everything he can for any suppressed group out there. He's the first one to stand 10 toes down. He brought a whole junta together. I don't know if you guys know what a junta is, but it's when we all get together, like soldiers get together. He brought someone in from Congo, someone Australia, Alaska. He managed to grab representatives from every suppressed group and bring them together in solidarity. Chicano did that. And so for him to be labeled a racist or wanting to spew misinformation, this guy studies from the time he wakes up to the time he goes to sleep to be right. He's the first one to say when he's wrong and the first one to say, okay, now I know. Or maybe you can teach me, as he said in this live. It's crazy how he's being misrepresented right now. That's not okay. I'm going to just leave it there. I know you guys are going to come at me sideways, but I'm telling you right now, Justice knows us and whoever else in here knows us. We're good people. We come here and we do a fight every day. We don't assimilate. I have a business. He has a business. We could very easily just be like sheep and get in line, but we don't. We take our money, our mouths, our resources, and we're fighting for representation for our people or anybody else oppressed. That's all I have to say, Justice. I'm sorry if your live got jacked up. We were in a really good place until Chicano decides to say something somebody automatically thinks and don't let him finish. That's crazy, man. That's just crazy. So I apologize to all of you. I loved the live before he got attacked. And then, God forbid, we call somebody that's being aggressive, that all of a sudden now we're being microaggressive. That's wild to me. That's wild to me. No, I'm gonna drop because I don't want this to continue. I love you all. I love you all. Please understand, Chicano and I are good people. Justice would not have us up here if we weren't. She's a good person.
Okay, hold on, pause. I want to say something real quick before I go.
About you people, go ahead, Earth. She needs to stay up here. She needs to
right, because I wanted to talk to hold on, because we're not going to call Ty aggressive. Because there was no aggression. There was passion behind what she was saying. And I'm going to say this again. Passion. Anytime a black person, like me, my tone is changing. Anytime I become passionate about something, sure, I get a little loud. But that, tone police and a black, no. We're going to cut that out right there. She was passionate. And sure, she was tired of the misinformation being spread that he was giving. And guess what? He literally said, okay, I get it. But he kept going. He admitted he was wrong and kept going. And then he said the blacks. I was like, oh, that's what got me. When he said the blacks, I was like, okay, the blacks, I'm going to say something.
Earth Fairy, I'm okay with passion. Like, there's nothing wrong. That wasn't even my issue. It was the fact that I was hearing a lot. It's always the over talking and the loudness combined. Once I hear the over talking and the loudness, I start kicking people off automatically. I don't care who you are. And that's what was bothering me. It had nothing to do with the information that she was given or the passion that she had. I'm okay with passion. I'm pretty sure I've had her up here before and everything was perfectly fine.
Yeah, but I'm just so tired of that rhetoric going, a black person is being aggressive. Look, y'all, let's cut it out. Let's cut it out. Let's cut it out. Anytime we have something and that we have and that we get and we're passionate about it, y'all want to say it's aggressive. Not you,
Hey, but if
Justin.
a black person is being aggressive, no,
You're not gonna cut me off. You're not gonna cut me off. I'm
If
talking.
somebody is being aggressive,
I'm
though,
talking.
like
I'm talking.
you have the right to say you're being
I'm
aggressive.
talking. I'm talking. I'm talking.
I'm
I didn't
talking.
call Chicano aggressive. I didn't call him aggressive. So I don't even know where that's coming from. I don't know what y'all are talking about. So stop interrupting me, and you're not gonna overtalk me because I never said that he was aggressive. All I said was that she was passionate, and he was too. He was too, but clearly to her, it was misinformation. So I'm gonna need y'all to stop right there. Stop it. Stop it. And I just met them today, so you know, and they seem like nice people, but like we're gonna keep going in a circle. And the whole move out of the way, like that really just got to me real bad. That just got to me real bad. Cause it's like, who are you blaming? Who are you blaming? Exactly. Who are you blaming is the question. Because it can't be us. It can't be us. Sure, we have some Uncle Ruxes in our community, but that's in every community. That is true. But you can't generalize a group of people. Don't do that. Don't do that. Not everybody's the same. That's all I gotta say.
So if somebody is being aggressive, anybody has the right to say you're being aggressive. It doesn't matter what skin color you are. And then, hi Justice, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's been a long time since I saw you.
Yes, ma'am. I have children, so I, do my thing. And I'm gonna answer your backdrop. So it says Black privilege in America 2024. Does it exist? If you are American, it exists. If you are living in America, you are absolutely privileged. You have so much privilege that a lot of people do not have. Oh, Fatima. Salamu alaikum. But yes, you have privilege if you're in America. Have a beautiful day.
No, we do not have privilege. As Indigenous people here in America, we live by two sets of federal laws. My people are still considered the registered pets of the American government. On our lands, we don't have the same rights and privileges as you. So, no, I'm going to call cap on that. Second of all, calling any Black person in a Black space aggressive is dangerous, because we know what kind of people sit even in the back and watch, and it's harmful. That's the next thing.
But you know what? I didn't even know that person was Black. If you want me to be honest with you, I don't assume people's races based off of how they talk and based off of the titles that they have. So I didn't even know that person was Black when I said it.
Okay, but it's still harmful. It's harmful.
Yeah, I think maybe Mama Bird said it better than I did, or maybe people just don't want to hear the same message from different people. But the issue was what Chicano was saying, this separation of our marginalized groups was not the will of Black Americans. If there was some actors within that, that may have been, but the majority of this conflict has come from colonizers from Mexico who have wanted us mestizos to assimilate into whiteness. And that's the biggest issue. When people are being grouped under Hispanic for this catch-all phrase to make some sort of new race, and we don't understand the historical context, we're going down a slippery slope. That's the issue. So it has been white supremacists, but they have been from the nation of Mexico as well as the nation of the United States. It's not just a one-way thing.
I don't know. Like I said, y'all need to stop trying to argue with people and then stop trying to speak for other people. You are not that person. You only can say so much, especially when that person is literally speaking for themselves and they're being very specific. Y'all keep trying to say he kept getting cut off. No, what he kept doing was cutting other people off, and it was adding fuel to the fire. He had multiple times to speak. We even went on Shaggy, cut it out. We even went on Showtime twice so he can speak and I can respond to him. So we're not going to go with that narrative as if he was just getting cut off. No, he was spewing misinformation. And when he was being corrected on that, you guys found fault in that and the issue, thinking that Judge Joe Brown is a credible source, or Judge Mathis, or whomever on whatever podcast or YouTube interview you guys saw. We asked for you guys to bring a source stating what you're claiming, because again, you're not going to tell us about our community, our history, and it's vice versa. To the aggressive thing, the fact that you guys are saying that somebody's attacking somebody or somebody's being aggressive is really wild, when literally everybody was speaking with passion, but y'all could say all of that has nothing to do with color, but it does. Only when a woman of color is speaking, a black woman is speaking, is when y'all want to put those labels out there. When everybody else up here was cutting people off, yelling, getting very hostile, but we didn't call it that. We called it passion. But because a black woman came up here speaking truth, facts, it was, oh, she's attacking people or she's being aggressive or whatever it may be. We got to stop with that, because I don't know why it seems that an educated person of color, a black person, is always seen as a threat or aggressive or hostile. No, just stop spewing misinformation. Sometimes it's okay to listen and not always have a response.
But Elle, I want you to know too, I have many different people that I have kicked off here simply for over talking. Not just black people. I've kicked off Latino, Hispanic, white people. It doesn't matter. If you come off in a way where it's too much over talking, I'm going to kick you off no matter what. I've had you guys up here. We've all been fine. We were all getting along. Like, everything was fine. Like, I don't take into account people's skin tone. That's not what I do personally. It's all about how you act, and alone, it's nothing more than that. So if you took it into offense, you took it personal, and you're not supposed to take it personal, that is on you. I have rules, and if you can't go by my rules, you get kicked off. It's as simple as that.
Going by your rules, you literally had Chicano up here over talking. Indigenous only felt the need to cut in and tell people to stop over talking.
A lot of people were over talking. A lot of people, and it was hard to manage. A lot of people over talking.
Okay. Well, I just want to say this. Okay, the next time that happens, just drop the whole panel, because at this point, I don't think anyone's listening to Ella, what she has to say. So the next time that happens, just drop the whole panel and then tell everybody to take a break or commercial break, and then let everybody back up.
And that's a good idea too.
Yeah. Because if I'm being honest, I did feel some kind of way when you dropped Ty, because I do agree with what I was saying. Chicano, even though I met him, and he seems like a very good person, but what he has shown, what he did show was like, oh, ew, is somebody gonna mute him or drop him? Because I was getting muted in left and right, and I wasn't even interrupting anybody.
And usually when stuff like that happens, I usually do Showtime. I try not to drop. I used to do that before, but I might just have to start doing it now. But normally when things like that happen, I'll do Showtime and I'll keep doing it.
Over there. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm talking to my dog. Don't do that. Yeah, don't. Yeah, I just felt some kind of way.
The only people that are being oppressed in America, because when I go out and about and live my daily life like the rest of us do, we don't see this discrimination. I guess it depends on what area you're located in, because people don't just say, oh, you know what, you're black, I don't want to hang out with you. You're white, I don't want to associate myself with you. I don't want to cash you out because you're black or white. Like, people don't do that in real life.
They do that in institutes like buildings and like jobs and things like that, especially if you are a person of color. They're gonna discriminate you, and they're gonna be like very much rude to you and racist or xenophobic if they're a part of your thing. So it exists here in America, sweetheart. It does. You just don't see it. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it isn't happening, because it does happen. It does happen in colleges. A black student, a social stalker. Black students, like, had to experience
This one black girl who I went to college with, I graduated before her. She experienced what racism is for the very first time, and she didn't even know what to do because the woman was intoxicated and she was throwing out racial slurs. And she had to go, to the school board and report it. But the school board did nothing. They did nothing for that girl. And I felt so bad for her. I still do, and I still talk to her every day. And I'm
not think
I'm
that
about to
there are
cry.
injustices, just period in general?
Absolutely, but for you to, you know what? I'm gonna.
Did she say?
Girl, no. My point was completely missed. Hold on, Elle. Were you trying to say something? Because you sound like you're underwater. But like, I'm about to cry because it's for that woman to say that it doesn't exist when it does. Me going outside, walking down the street, racism or xenophobia or anything of that sort, it can happen. It happens, when you walk outside your door. If you don't experience that, good for you. But to say that it doesn't exist, oh honey, it does. In workplaces, in workspaces, it does. And I'm sorry, but I'm about. It does. I promise you. In 2020.
It doesn't exist. I didn't say it doesn't exist. I said where I'm at, it does not exist.
Backtracking real hard up here. That's all I'm gonna say.
Where do you exist?
Miss ma'am, you did say it doesn't
if you could let us
exist.
know where it doesn't exist, so we can all go to that place where it doesn't exist. That'd be sweet.
Racial profiling is real, y'all.
The delusion that people living with this is the scary thing. 'Cause we can't convince people of existing when they are this closed-minded to reality. They see it every day and walk past it like it doesn't happen.
Literally.
Yeah.
Hi y'all. I was addressing her in the.
Get your age.
Oh, sure. Age 39, race black. Pronoun.
Oh, just your age. You're good.
Oh, okay. I was addressing her in the chat because she said that we're privileged. Black people are privileged just for living in America, and I do a lot of research on my people, and that's a whole damn lie. According to the research and the stats and data backed with studies and lived and shared experiences, black people experience racism under every system needed to thrive and progress. So just because you don't see us all the time, even though there's plenty of videos of us being called the N-word and all types of things, but just because you don't see that everywhere you go doesn't mean that racism isn't prevalent. It is. It's not just some surface level shit. There's no privilege in that.
Racism doesn't exist, in my opinion.
Your opinion is...
You know what? Like an asshole. Everybody has one.
I'm sorry. It does. I mean, your opinion, you can't dispute it.
People throw that around like it's air.
No, yeah. You know who throws around white tea people? When they come on here. Huh?
What'd you say, honey?
Did you mean that physically?
Oh yeah, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, absolutely. Well, the majority. Well, not everybody is born with the a-hole, but yes, some people have. The majority of people do. But like for her to say it's an opinion, girl, please, I'm not finna. Girl, no. Miss ma'am,
because
no ma'am.
it's always facts over opinions and feelings for me. And according to the facts and the stats and the shared and lived experiences, it exists. And I'm not gonna play delusional with y'all. I refuse to play dumb and delusional to make people feel better. I'm not going to do it. If you feel like your America is so great, then get your ass up off the piano and go skip and smile down the damn street.
Ooh.
The fuck?
I do. Wait, hold on. Wait.
Miss ma'am. Miss ma'am, I'm not going to play with you today.
That irritated me. That just irritated me.
She gave me Jasmine. She gave me Jasmine with that one. Girl, your whole, the way you think is just disgusting. Girl, no.
Okay,
for you to say that it doesn't exist.
So why does your bio say that you fight for all innocent people, but you don't think racism exists?
Oh,
Clock it.
It doesn't exist.
Clock that T.
Wait, hold on,
So what are
guys.
you fighting for?
Right.
Hold on, let me welcome the new guest real quick. Sunset. Let me get your age.
Hey, I'm 40. How y'all doing?
Thank you. Don't worry, Freeman. I'll let you ask your question. Is there anything you wanted to add?
No, not right yet. America's
All right, go ahead, Freeman.
On your profile, it says you fight for all innocent people, so we don't have to. But what you're doing is gaslighting us into this like white supremacist ideology that, something about bootstraps and racism doesn't exist, and maybe classism is the issue. But
If white supremacy exists, black supremacy exists also.
no, that's not how.
No, it is not. No, it is not, boo boo.
Yes, it does.
Get a book, education. No, it doesn't, sweetheart. No, it doesn't,
Why
sweetheart.
can't it
Stop.
exist?
Give it a rest.
Why can't you be supreme? Why would you say that as a black person? Why can't you do something supreme?
Because racism
What's
involves
wrong
oppression.
with you? Why can't you be
White
supreme
people
as a
are not
white
oppressed.
person?
Give it a
What's wrong
rest.
with
White
you?
people aren't oppressed.
Yes, they
Racism
are.
requires a system of
I didn't say
oppression.
we oppressed. I said, why
Racism.
can't you be supreme?
Pause.
Why
Pause.
can't
Pause.
you have supremacy?
Because you said
You ain't got
why can't we be
supremacy in
racist?
Atlanta?
No,
Hold
no,
up,
no,
you
no,
ain't
no,
got
no, no, no,
supremacy in
no, no,
Atlanta.
no, baby. What you
There's
said
a lot of-
was.
there's a lot of
What you
Atlanta.
said was. What you said was. Oh, the host. Go
I
ahead,
said,
Justice.
why
I'm sorry, 'cause
can't
I'm
you
gonna
be
clock this mother.
supreme?
Yeah, I
Why
was
don't
just
you have
saying
the
there's some
self-esteem to say you're
overtalking, so let's
supreme?
let's
the
set
That
up
is
how
not
we're gonna go back and
supreme.
forth. Hold on,
Okay,
guys.
that is not.
Just 1 second. So
That's the
I'm
question.
noticing there's converse between Fairy and Sunset, so I want to make this so it's fair. We're gonna start off with Sunset, and then we're gonna go to Fairy. Go ahead, Sunset, and then Mama, you're third.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Sunset. You're
Why
welcome.
can't you have supremacy? That's all I'm saying. Why are the white people better than you? Why are you openly saying that? Why are you putting your own race down? Why can't you be supreme?
Go ahead, Fairy.
Okay, honey, did you land? First of all, no one said that white tea people were better. No one said that at all. And I would never say that. I would say within the history of America that is rooted in racism and everything else. You guys are going to have the benefit of succeeding because the system was built for you, not against you.
Wrong.
Girl, hush up, because I'm talking. Yeah, the system was built for you, not against you. And to be racist, you have to be under a system of oppression, and that is just something that white people don't really experience, if I'm being honest. Prejudice, of course. And xenophobia, absolutely. From other, when people come from other countries, absolutely. But racism, no, baby, you can't experience that. No, because you're not oppressed. Sorry. As a white
Mama, you're
individual,
next.
you're not oppressed.
Mama Bird.
There is a difference between classism and racism. White people can't experience classism. They cannot experience racism. What Earth said is absolutely correct. But this is what I'd like to add. For those in the comments and on the panel, in regards to our Black Americans, Black people voting in this country, what happens every 25 years? I know I want to see if those who are claiming that we all have privilege in this country, no. I know what happens every 25 years.
All right, Lola, you're next.
What happens every 25 years?
Well, that was my question too.
The United States Congress comes together to decide if Black Americans still have the right to vote in this country every 25 years. There is no other race in this country that they do that to.
Okay, and the electoral college votes for you.
Exactly, MFCEL. They vote on your right to be allowed to vote. Now, can we not consider that racism?
I mean, if you want, if you're under the delusion that votes count and shit, yeah.
That's not my point. That's not my point. I understand what you're saying with the Electoral College vote. I do understand that. My point is, we saw what happened the last election with Black Americans being purged from the voting list. We see what happens every 25 years when Congress comes together to vote to decide if Black people can or cannot continue to have the right to vote.
It's pretty, I mean, if you don't call it racist, I don't know. Well, what do you think racist is?
Exactly.
Another point I want to point out, because I know that Mom is indigenous. I'm indigenous from Oklahoma as well. I represent Cherokee, Apache Nation, both tribes,
Correct.
both sides. I also want to include that if America is not racist, tell me why to this day in 2024 that your so-called Declaration of Independence still calls indigenous people merciless Indian savages, and we're not even considered people in this country if America's not racist.
Who goes around and says that, Maui? Who says that?
Somebody has to say it when your Declaration of Independence.
Lola, I'm not gonna play with you.
Oh.
Lola, I'm not gonna play with you, girl. It's the Constitution, boo boo.
Oh,
Go
that's
ahead,
what.
Maui.
Oh, the Constitution says that.
My bad.
Girl, I know you're trying to be condescending, but you
Let
know.
me see that though. Like,
Do,
let me
do you
see
know
that.
Do you know what a vagabond is? So I have a feeling you don't understand that word.
For those who don't, can you explain it?
Yeah, sure. It was disenfranchised, non-slave owning, non-land owning white people who were basically seen as squatters in the countryside. So they depleted like the flora and fauna because they weren't actually landowners. So they had skirmishes with the Native Americans, but they're written into the Constitution as also not having rights. But then as like the idea of whiteness, because like back in the day, whiteness meant you were an upright, fully productive citizen, not a vagabond. So they were allowed to be included into that new form of whiteness after the Civil War to employ them as the new form of cheap labor. And so that was their privilege at the time, because before that they were competing with slave owning populations who dominated the labor market. And so even though the slaves, our enslaved ancestors, were not individually paid, the slave masters who contracted the labor out from the plantations to like dig canals or whatever were paid by, the state or the federal government or whoever was, contracting the labor. So the privilege of like white people is to, one, not see that racism exists, to think that they have been able to pull themselves up by bootstraps and, the American dream situation. But it's all welfare. It was to employ people who were seen as a burden on society and to colonize the Western United States.
Or is that a way to make you believe that that is the complete opposite of what you're trying to say?
What do you mean?
The gaslighting is real.
Yeah.
So
I don't comprehend how you're okay with it calling my people merciless Indian savages in your Constitution.
Who said
That's
that?
not racist.
Hold on, who?
Thomas Jefferson.
But you're telling me America's not racist. That's inherently racist as hell.
Or who do you think wrote the Constitution? Or the Declaration of
like I
Independence?
said, whenever it comes to the word, racist, it's almost non-existent, because if everything's racist, then there's no racism, right?
If it's non-existent, why are people still on reservations and those are being depleted? Why do we still have native reservations? Why aren't we included in everything?
If there was
why do y'all make us stay on reservations?
There would be no EEOC. There would be no.
I have to stay on the reservation, man.
You do not.
Girl, she
So you're
gas-
lying.
Knock it off.
She is gaslighting the
you can
F
go
out of
look at Oklahoma
people.
law. By law, because I'm Cherokee, and I have tribal tags, and I have my tribal card, and I'm represented as Cherokee. If I'm outside of the reservation and I have a Cherokee tag, guess what? They're impounding my car and they're arresting me and giving me a ticket because I'm driving an unlawful vehicle on state roads because I'm outside of Cherokee reservation with a Cherokee tag.
Okay, before
Alright,
we
so they're
continue, let me
arresting
get
you for
French
not having a
Montana's
license.
age. Hold on, guys.
So you don't have a
Is it
license,
French
fam.
Montana? Oh,
That's
no,
what
it's
you
French
saying.
Monroe. My bad. French Monroe. Can I get your age?
I'm 37.
Thank you.
Was he done? Were you waiting for me, or was he done speaking? I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
want to
you can
interrupt.
chime in at any time.
I mean, I feel him on that. I'm Native American as well. We're actually still fighting. I'm in Virginia, but we have a reservation in Ahoskie, North Carolina. And we're still fighting for our federal recognition. But I do have, like, we're recognized by the state of North Carolina, but it's an ongoing battle. It's not going to be over anytime soon with that. But as far as Black privilege and the prompt, my mother is Black and Native American. My father was YT and Native. With me, I am fair skinned. My mother is darker than me. I can just give you first-hand account on what I'm going through personally with this. I've seen it from both sides. My kidneys failed when I was 29, so currently I actually go through a lot of medical racism. All right. My father passed away 4 years ago. Like, literally, my mom used to have my dad go to the hospital with me so that I had adequate care. I never really understood that until my father passed away 4 years ago. And now that my mom is 73. My parents were married 38 years. My dad's from Louisville, Kentucky. And my mom's from Newport News, Virginia. But it's what I get now is definitely different from what I got with my dad being with me. So I've had it from both sides. When I was with him, I got treated great. You know, he was Native, but he identified more. He's blonde hair and blue eyes, you know. But I definitely get it now. I've been removed from a transplant list because I'm on Medicaid and Medicare. Certain things I'm not, I was supposed to have a transplant, 4 years ago? And 12 offers, literally in the OR. And a doctor came out and did not give me the kidney transplant. They overlooked me, said it was something was wrong with it, but they gave that same organ to a YT person that was 67 years old. I was 33 at the time. Like, it is real. Medical racism is definitely, it's terrible. Nobody looks at it. I'm in a dialysis clinic.
I don't think they would have ever stopped, even if your white dad was in there. If they were truly racist, they wouldn't have cared if your dad was in there.
Listen,
you troll.
You don't
do that.
No, they do care. My mom wasn't even with me. I'm very light. When I was with my father, yes, I did get better care. You're not in my shoes, so you don't know what I'm going through, honey. Please don't speak on it. But it is true.
Whenever it comes to
I've had a doctor literally come into listen, no, shush, because you're acting really rude. I definitely understand it now, honey. Woo, I'm about to go back in the comments after this one. But I've literally had a YT doctor come in and say that they want me to go on hospice. Okay, this I was 36. This just happened. I had a YT doctor come in and say that I had no quality of life, and that she believes in a quality of life. She was saying that I could get all the medicine I wanted if I went on hospice. You go into these dialysis clinics, it's mostly Black people. I don't see a lot of YT people in there, okay? It's minorities. There's a lot of natives, and there's a lot of Black people, okay? It's sad. But
I'm so sorry that you have to go through that,
people
dog.
you would never understand none of that. And I'm not the darkest person, but my mother is very dark, okay? I've had to look at my mom get looked at, and both my parents together.
get criticized because of their love, because they loved each other, because they were different. Even by my dad's own family, okay? Wanting to come to the hospital just because my mom was black. My grandfather wanted to see what race, how I looked. Yeah, I may be light-skinned, but she's still an N hard R child. That's what my grandfather said to my mom and dad about me in a hospital when I was born. Like, they don't know nothing about that. It's sad. And now everybody wants to put this person in there that condones it. They condone the ignorance and people being evil. You want to set the country back. No progression. That means all the lies, all your ancestors, everybody that did all these battles would be in vain. Because nobody can change their heart. They love to be evil. Like, it's crazy.
French Monroe, if you don't mind me asking, what's your current situation now when it comes to the transplant?
I'm off of it. When they did that to me and I was going into the operating room, I was halfway under anesthesia. Okay. I was like halfway out of it. And the doctor comes out. And he's like, no transplant today. And because I showed emotion, because I cried, I'm diabetic. I also have had open heart surgery at 30. Well, how old was I when I had that? 34. So this is going on my third year. I just turned 37 last month. Because of malpractice. I go into a hospital, anybody that is black, any type of minority, a lot of these hospitals, they think you're coming there rug seeking, right? They don't look at your issue. No, they don't come in there and give you any type of respect or treat you like a human being. They automatically come in and think you're there looking for something. Well, for 3 months, I was coughing up blood clots. For 3 months. I'm going there and these doctors are sending me away saying that I'm coming there looking for rugs. Well, a situation happened and my troponin levels in my heart were elevated. And I go to the hospital and they're just so shocked. I had untreated endocarditis in my heart for 3 months. That infection of my heart, it ate my heart valve. My lungs were filled with blood. That's why I was coughing up blood clots for 3 months. I had to get airlifted to a hospital here in Richmond. I almost passed away. But because people think they look at the cover, they think they know better than what a patient is telling them. I've been diabetic since I was 13. I had open heart surgery. My kidneys failed at 29. We're going on, 9 years now of me being on dialysis, fighting with these hospitals to keep me on a transplant list. And right now I'm a sitting duck. I'm O positive. I'm the most common blood type. I'm a sitting duck. That doctor, because I cried, he sent me to a psychiatrist. They took me off temporarily because they said that they wanted to make sure I wasn't going to off myself. They criticized me so bad. The doctor was like, why are you crying? I want to know, to all of those doctors that do that, they lost their compassion. They lost their bedside manner. They don't care about people no more.